So everyone's now trying to get visible, get seen on AI search results, ChatGPT, for an example, Google and Google Overview. And so this is what I'm trying to sort of explain to you today. I think on the thumbnail I've chosen, I've got a WhatsApp message recently from someone who picked up a couple of leads from AI. It's happening all the time, by the way. It just so happens that particular agent sent me a WhatsApp, so I used that as a screenshot, basically. But I've got lots of tools to help with this. So I've always used a tool called SE Ranking, which is always there to help me with local SEO. Okay, and I also use a tool called Falcon Local, which again helped me with that local SEO. That's the map pack. So if someone searches for a estate agent near me, and they get the ads, and they get the map pack, and then below the map pack they get the websites and stuff like that. Okay, less traffic now goes to the websites. Okay, that's the way it is. Okay, but all the work you put onto the website will result in having an improved visibility, get improved result for the map pack, and ultimately for the AI search results. Okay, so the way it works with local SEO, the way it works with AI, okay, any agents that are watching this here because they want to increase their visibility on AI search, okay, and there's loads of AI search tools out there now. Now the leaders are pretty much ChatGPT and Google Overview. So people will search for these to get answers, and we all do it. I do it all the time myself. Okay, but all that work you put onto the website will feed into your map packs. And then a lot of this AI result stuff will come from those map packs. So, for an example, ChatGPT will grab all of that information data via Bing, and Google will obviously use Google. Okay. So, when I work with estate agents, and what I recommend you'll do, if you're not going to hire me or someone else to do it and you're going to do it yourself, you'll have a Google map pack, Google My Business, Google Business Profile, whatever you want to call it, and you make sure it's set up and it's optimized to the max. Okay, and I can do other videos on that. You can figure it out yourself and other YouTube videos and things like that. But make sure it's completely and utterly optimized for your business, for your territories, for your services. Okay, and then once you've built that on Google, you then go and create a business account on Bing Places, and Bing Places will sync your Google map pack into its own map listing thing. Okay, so basically all the work you do into Google will get transferred over to Bing. Just give it a quick once over, make sure it's all tickety blue, and it's kind of fine. Okay, Bing feeds all of that information to ChatGPT, and Google obviously feeds all their information to Google. Okay, because that's how it works. So once you've got the map pack set up, okay, Google Business, and then you're syncing that, and that's all set up perfectly, and you're syncing that to Bing, and Bing's all set up perfectly. In a way, that's the map pack done. All you got to do after that is keep collecting reviews, okay, and making sure you're getting the reviews onto those platforms, and make sure you're posting. Okay, make sure that you're posting on there, frequent blog posts, and like if you're doing some social media stuff, post that onto them as well. So you've always got content on there and it's active. Not only does it mean that you've got an active listing, which Google and Bing will like and AI will like and stuff like that, you're also starting to bank more keywords. Okay, so you're starting to bank more keywords. One post you're talking about could be you talking about some success stories you've had with your marketing of a particular property, which resulted in quick sales. Okay, so you've just banked a few more keywords into your listing profile, which is like quick sales, marketing, property, location, Guildford, Woking, for example. Obviously, your location would be different. You're just starting to bank more keywords. Okay, now that's great, and you can keep putting that onto your listing stuff. Other than that, really, once you've got the map pack set up and you're doing the reviews, and that's a weekly thing. You got to keep thinking, where do I get more reviews from? And then you're posting on there as often as you can, 2-3 times a week type thing. That's kind of it. Everything now is done off of that map pack, okay? And you're doing all of this here. You're doing all the work on your websites to feed your map pack, and you're also doing all the work on the website, um, because the AI bots will be crawling your website and will be crawling the map pack listings from Bing, from Google, from business directory, like UK business directories, to get information. Okay, so what we've got here now is a list, and it looks complicated, but actually this is just the best practices for content that you can do anyway. Really, there might be some stuff missing here. This is just what I've built. Okay, now the cool thing is for me, okay, people always say, oh, local SEO is dead, it's all AI. Okay, and I did about a year ago get a little bit worried about this, a bit nervous. I was like, hey, I need to learn some stuff. Actually, all the practices that you now need to implement into an online business so that you can start showing up on AI results, okay, like I'm doing for my clients and stuff like that, it just best practices. It's exactly the same sort of practices that people would do for SEO, white hat, like not people that are trying to cut corners and trying to be a bit dodgy and things like that. All those good best practices that people need to implement into SEO, it's the same strategy. Okay, all these AI bots are doing, the ChatGPT and all these other AI search platforms, all they're doing is searching the web. They're searching the internet to find information, gathering the information to then identify who are the most popular estate agents in the area for them to recommend. Okay, and so the more content that you've got on your website, the more that content from the website that's feeding into your map pack, the more content you've got on other people's websites and things that have got your branding on it, um, which I'll explain in a bit more detail in a bit. It's just giving you more. You've just got more content about you around the web, so that then ChatGPT and all these other tools will be like, okay, these people look very legit. I should be recommending them, especially when you've got all those reviews and stuff. Okay, so I've got a few. This is like the marketing strategy for you to be increasing your visibility of your estate agency business locally to your audience. Okay, and we've got some categories here. We've got website content, channels, social media content, local backlinks, brackets PR, best practices, monitor, and ideas. Okay, so let's just basically just work our way through this, and hopefully I can explain it as best as I can. If not, I mean, I do sometimes struggle to make things like easy peasy when I explain stuff, just the way my brain works. But like, don't hesitate to reach out to me if you've got any questions. I'm always available to reply to emails and things like that. Okay, so website content, service pages, location pages. Okay, so I would consider this to be like the foundations of a website. Okay, especially when it comes to a local business. I work with estate agents, but it could be plumbers, it could be a local landscape gardener, whatever it's going to be. Okay, you want to have the different drop down, a drop down with all the separate services that you provide, and you don't want a page which is like that one page covers all 6 of your services. If you've got 6 services: property sales, property lettings, tenant screening, property management, property marketing, um, whatever else you do, then have a separate page for each of those. It just makes it very easy for bots, Google bots, AI bots, Bing bots, make it very easy for them to crawl these pages and be like, great, this person does sales, lettings, home staging, whatever else that they do. Okay, because they've got one page per service, right? What you can do then is some internal linking at the bottom of each of those service pages. You can have other services other services that we provide, and it's linking to those other services. Okay, and so that they're all linking to one another. You can even then, at the bottom of that, areas that we cover. Okay, and then you've got a link going to each of those areas that you cover. So like, let's use Woking as an example, because that's where I live. Okay, so Woking is a pretty big town just outside the M25, so it's a commuter's town for people to go into London. Okay, and it's a pretty decent size, but so you've got Woking as a whole, but you've also got little areas within Woking: Shearwater, Brookwood, Mayford, Maybury. Okay, you've also got towns just outside of Woking, Byfleet, Ripley, Send, areas like this here. So on the location pages, the home page is Woking. The home page is, like any typical an estate agency website. It'd be like Paul Neal's estate agents, sales and lettings for Woking and surrounding areas, some of that. So that's just talking about the umbrella location, a nutshell about all the services that we provide, information about us, our testimonials, our active listings, our previous sold listings and things like that. Okay, who I am, what I do, where I do it. That's basically what you want on your homepage. Okay, I'm Paul Neal. I'm a local estate agent. I cover Woking and surrounding areas. Those areas include X, Y, and Z. The services I cover are X, Y, and Z. The other location pages kind of work as a bit like an area guide plus the services you provide for each place. Okay, because now what's happening is that's being picked up on all that stuff that you've done, the foundations, the service pages, location pages, and they're all interlinking, like I just explained to you a little while ago. They're going to get picked up by Google Map Packs, Bing Map Packs, ChatGPT, Google Overview, and all the other bots, and picking it up. That's the foundations. Okay. Other things you can do then is things like local blogs and additional area guides. Okay, because what you're doing now is that you're adding more meat to that bone. Okay, a lot of estate agents that I work with are independents. Okay, and they might be up against big corporate businesses, like Foxtons estate agents, and they're monsters. They've got branches all over the country. Okay, and so they can look intimidating, but in actual fact, they don't have a lot of authority in Woking, for an example, as being the local estate agent. Not with the way things have changed now. Okay, they could have one page on their website talking about their expertise in property sales and lettings in Woking, and they'll have their active listings. They may have a couple of area guides for areas in and around Woking, but that's it. Okay, as an independent, you can go homepage, expertise in property sales for Woking and surrounding areas, locations covered, services covered. A separate page for each service. Our property marketing, our Woking property marketing services, our Woking property sales services, our Woking property letting services, our Woking tenant screening services. It's just Woking. Okay, locations. About Goldsworth Park in Woking, about Mayford in Woking, about Westfield in Woking, yeah, about Send, about Ripley, all places just on the outskirts of Woking. So already your site's got way more information that's specific about property and the local community of Woking. So already you've got more on your website compared to Foxtons when it comes to your niche, your territory. Okay. Then we've got things like FAQs. So having an FAQ page, maybe even have FAQs at the bottom of some of your high sort of converting pages, which is like your service pages and your location pages, have an FAQ. The reason why I want FAQs is because AI loves an FAQ. Okay, when you find these little snippets and things, sometimes when you search for something on ChatGPT or Google Overview, and you get these little answers and stuff, that's pretty much always coming from an FAQ. So have FAQs on your site and on those important pages, okay? Because they will get people can read that answer, click the link, bosh, on your site, okay? And testimonials, okay? Now, before going any further, you're just not going to get, just be aware, you're not going to get as many people visiting your website now as you were 3 years ago, 5 years ago, okay? But everything we're doing here is so that your visibility is up top when someone searches for a estate agent near me, a estate agent Woking, a estate agent, best estate agent in location, that kind of stuff. Okay, everything I'm talking about now is practices for you to show up, as in call these people with your number. Okay, now if I had to show you an example, I won't do it now because I'm sharing this here, but if I had to show you an example of you going on to Google or ChatGPT about a stage near me, it kind of comes up like that map pack. It comes with a little list of those businesses like you would get on a map pack. It's basically scraping it from the map pack. That's all it's doing. Okay, it's just scraping it from Bing and Google map packs. But all this stuff is just good practice that you can dominate it, right? So that's the website content, channels, social media, putting that content onto the map packs, like I suggested earlier. Directories are like business listings. Okay, so Yelp, Yell 192, all those proper UK business directories. Okay, now there's a thing called NAP, name, address, phone number. If your Google listing is Paul Neal Estate Agents, yeah, and the address is 123 Example Street, and the telephone number is XYZ, and the email address is XYZ. Repeat that everywhere. Have that everywhere. Have that exactly on the footer of your website. Have that in all those business directories. Have it identical in the Google Map Pack and the Bing Map Pack. Yeah, opening times. Have the opening times exactly the same in each of them. Okay, it's just getting it clear. Okay, and it sounds daft, but it's actually a big thing. They want to be able to see, okay, Pawn of Estate Agents, yeah, it's that address, yeah, it's that, it's all legit, it's just uniform everywhere. All these bots are basically just computers. Like the more signals you've got of it being correct and positive, and there's no fluff and grey areas and stuff like that, it's just better for you in the long run. Okay, so do those directories, but make sure you got everything spot on with a name, address, phone number. Um, Guest posting. So guest posting is good because it just helps you get the brand out there again. So the way it works now is like if you search for best estate agent here, best estate agent there. Yes, it's tracking it all from the map pack things and stuff like that. But the more signals you've got of your business from other websites, example the business directories, but other websites like local bloggers, local community websites. Maybe you're doing some stuff with some local charities, and the local charities have got a little article about, oh, thank you so much for Paul Neal's estate agents because they've helped us raise X amount on the Q4 2025, what it's going to be. This is just AI bots seeing your brand in other places. Other websites are trusting you, so they should trust you too. Okay, so that's the channels. Okay, social media content, just do what you always do, basically videos, marketing tips, community posts, market update, before and after types content, guides, local guides of the area, local parks, local walks, local pubs, local canals, whatever you can think of in your areas. Testimonials, collaborations can be like you're working with a local butcher, Christmas is around the corner, maybe there's a competition, you just do some collaborations. Okay, you're just getting your brand out there as much as possible on social, because AI searches doesn't just search to websites. Well, it does. I mean, social media is a website, like Facebook is a website, Instagram is a website. So it would just search all of this, and you've got content everywhere now. And all that time they're seeing you, you're associating yourself to your niche, which is property sales, property marketing in the community of Woking. Okay, so everything you're doing is relevant to property and Woking as your community. Okay, local backlinks brackets PR. Okay, local backlinks, people are like, I don't know what that is, and you don't have to. And to be fair, a lot of people, when they sell, if someone reaches out to you and says, I can sell you a load of backlinks, chances are it's going to be crap. Okay, you're not looking up these, you're looking for different backlinks. You're a local business. You need backlinks from the local shop, the local business owner, the local school, the local charity, and things like that. So for you, it's more PR. It's just getting out there, talking to businesses, and getting some local stuff. So schools, for an example, each property that I would sell in Woking, I would give 0.5% of that fee, or 0.25 or whatever of that fee to the local school. Okay, in return, they're going to have a link on the footer of their website, and they're going to have a link on the footer of each of their emails. Okay, that's a lot of links I'm now getting to my website. And guess what? Most schools are .gov websites, and Google trusts .gov. If you're getting the .gov stuff to your website and Google's ranking it, and you're getting all those positive signals from that, that's going to feed on to the AI bots. Okay. Local businesses, those charity things, those fundraising things that you can do with local businesses, just get them to write a shout out to you on their website, on their blogs and things like that. Businesses, charities, bloggers, let's say for an example, or online press type thing. Let's say there's a local magazine to you. They usually charge businesses whatever, £500 to get an advertisement on their magazine for the month. That's well and good, but they still want people to, they still need people to be reading their articles, going onto their online magazine to reading it and stuff. So they still need content. Okay, maybe you could become that internal in-house property expert for that magazine. So each month you could just talk about the local market, your prediction for the following month, how you saw things go that month, what suggestions you've got for buyers and sellers in the local area, from what you're seeing with the local market and stuff. Okay, this is content that their readers would want to read. You could give it to them for free, but in return, it's coming from Paul Neal, local Woking estate agent. So it's got your brand, your name, address, phone number type thing. It's got your brand on it. It's got a link to your website. Job done. Okay, that that's great. If that's great. So it's collaborations with local businesses. Basically, it's how you're going to get those backlinks. That's going to get positive signals to your website. It's going to allow all that good stuff to happen, but ultimately more content for AI to pick up and to read and to give those positive signals for them to see you and to recommend you as being that local property expert. Okay, best practices, natural language. Thing is, people don't really go onto Google now and be like best dentist near me or something. I mean, I search, when I search for things now on Google and Chat GBT and stuff, I literally write a sentence. That's ridiculous. I'm like, I'm thinking about doing this, but I'm not sure how to start. And I'll give them an entire story of my issue, just because I know I'll get better answers. Okay, so just being natural, and I don't think you need to worry about that. That's more of a thing for like people SEO heads. They're still like thinking. A lot of them are still thinking like robotic kind of thing. People are just more natural now, especially when people can now just pick up their phone, record it, and literally ask AI questions and get the results and things like that. Backlinks, we talked about. Internal linking, I've sort of spoke about as well when I mentioned that at the bottom of each service page have other services covered, areas covered, and link to those other service pages and those areas covered. And at the bottom of the areas covered pages, other areas that we cover, services that we provide. So everything's interlinking. Okay, and it's all wrapped up to the home page, which is the brand, the umbrella location, the overall services that we cover, and it's just all, that's all good stuff. Okay, authoritative blog. So what I mean by that is basically don't just use any old crap for a blog and expect it to be ranking or getting indexed. If Google's going to look at it, Google or Bing can see this blog and be like, it's been used by hundreds of other estate agents. There's nothing unique about it. It's not original. It's not helpful. There's no experience, expertise in it. There's no value in it. They're not going to post. They're not going to make it live. It's not going to be visible on search. Okay, it'll be on your website, but it's not going to be indexed, is the word I'm looking for. It's not going to be indexed simply because millions of pages are trying to get indexed each day, sorry, especially now that people are using AI, and Google's just not interested. They don't want to clutter their servers with a lot of crap. So make sure it's local, it's authoritative, it's expressing your expertise and knowledge, make it personable. Don't have it like a robotic thing, you know, and it will get indexed. But the more content that you've got the more blogs that you've got indexed, okay, that you spent some time in writing it and it's unique to you and your services and your brand, and it's helpful to your audience, which is people looking to buy, sell, let, rent in Woking, or live in Woking, or understand more about the Woking community and market and stuff. There's not a lot of competition for that. There's hardly anyone's writing about Woking. Foxtons don't write about Woking because their visitors to Foxtons website come from all over the country. They don't have time to write about 100 blogs for Woking, 100 blogs for Weybridge, 100 blogs for Guildford, 100 blogs for wherever else. Okay, you don't have to do. You just got to focus on Woking, so you can have 100 blogs for Woking, and already you got more content, you got more authoritative. And if it's good content, it's all going to get indexed. Suddenly now you've got an authoritative website all about helping people in Woking sell, buy, let, rent. Okay. Fast website. Just make sure your website is fast. Okay. Just speak to your website developer about that and they can help. Okay. Now, lastly, how to monitor and get ideas and stuff. So I use SE ranking. You can see it there, SE ranking. With SE ranking, I plug in GSC, which is Google Search Console, and GA4, which is Google Analytics. I'll plug it all into that. You can just use Google Search Console and GA4, which is Google Analytics. You can get them for free, and you can use those, and they're fine. Okay. SE ranking to pay tool, which it does a lot more stuff for me, but I can plug it in. Okay. So I basically monitor AI results and website results and how well certain keywords and things are performing using SE ranking. A lot of that information then also, but a lot of that information comes from Google Search Console, Google Search Control and GA4. Sorry. So that's how I use that. Local Falcon will basically show you how well you're ranking on Google Maps. Okay, how you're performing on Google Maps. Okay. Now, the reason why you need to know all that stuff is if you're performing well on Google Maps, you're going to perform well on AI search results. Okay. If you're performing well on SE ranking or Google Search Console and Google Analytics for your pages and your target keywords, again, you're going to be doing well on AI search. Okay. Now, if you're struggling to find content, okay, you can use Answer the Public. It's a website, it's free, and use that. I'm not a fan of it. I just think it's a bit outdated now. But you can use Answer the Public. But you can also use ChatGPT and Gemini. Now, I use ChatGPT at the minute. I probably am going to start using Gemini a bit more from January. I've got a bit more time on my hand in January. I'm going to start leaning more towards that. They've got some cool things there that I want to play around with. But you can basically put in prompts to both of these and be like, I'm a local estate agent that covers Woking and the surrounding areas. These areas include X, Y, and Z. The services I provide are X, Y, and Z. Please give me a comprehensive blog marketing plan to help me with my local SEO project to help improve the authority of my location pages and service pages on my website. And it's going to basically come up with like 20 blog posts to help support each of your service pages, 20 blog posts to help support each of your location pages. Okay, boom, write those, make sure they're authoritative. Okay. The last thing to mention, and I don't think I put it here, which is I have FAQs and schema. I jumped that. I don't know why I jumped that. Under best practices, natural language, backlinks, internal linking, and then FAQs. We kind of mentioned FAQs and about the importance of FAQs, but schema. Once you've done the foundations of your site, which is those service pages, optimized homepage, your service pages, your location pages, just started rolling out some of those blogs and things, get onto schema. Okay, I don't have time to talk about it now. I'm on nearly 30 minutes with this video already. But basic schema is a quick way for bots, Google bots, Bing bots, and AI bots to crawl your site, to crawl your pages and be like, okay, that page is about this. It's just a quick way of doing it. It's almost like a duplicate website. You've got your website that we all see, and there's another one that just sits there in the background that bots will kind of crawl first. And it can be like, okay, this page is about this. It's talking about this. Here's some FAQs from that page. Here's some, it's just a schema markup. Okay. And it's just easier for bots to crawl that first. And they therefore, they like it because it's less fuss for them to go to that page, figure it out. Okay. And a lot of these things that you'll find on Google Bing snippets is from schema. And a lot of the stuff that you'll sometimes find on AI when it gives you multiple options of answers and stuff, that will come from snippets, and snippets come from schema. Okay. Now, someone going a stage it near me, you probably don't need that. It's all about getting that map pack bit. But when people start getting to more detail about what's the property market like in Woking this month, and you've got an article talking about the local property market in Woking for this month, and you've added that to schema, you've got more chance of coming up to that. So it just gives you more avenues for people to find you, to reach out to you, and stuff like that. So it's a complicated one if you don't know what you're talking about. If you don't know this world, and I don't expect you to, because you sell homes. That's what you do. You sell homes, okay? But if you're you've already dabbled in SEO and content and things like this, a lot of this will probably make more sense to you, okay? But nonetheless, I am here. You can literally reach out to people if you want. You can drop me an email and be like, Paul, what the heck was that? I don't understand. And I can try and explain it to you a bit better. Ultimately, you can book in an audit type thing, and we can jump on a call. They usually last about half an hour, and I can just have a look at the thing quickly and be like, right, this month, just do this. Next month, figure that out, and give it to you in more of a bite-sized thing. Okay, I've spoken enough. I hope that helps, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.